Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another 10 p.m. with BK. And today I am on a different platform again. As you can tell, I am probably if you know me by now, I do like to test out um, things and it kind of gives me joy. So I titled today's live stream as What Makes You Happy. I'll talk a little bit about that in a bit. So let me just do this first. This is very important, and this is a way of um, marking time. And we are on day number 16. So thank you for joining me on this journey. This is day number 16 of a 100-day challenge. And I hope you can hear me, you can see me, and you can hear me and see me in the right phase. That's in, I'm not out of phase. I'm not out of sync. So I'm back on the platform called Restream. Over here. I'm back on Restream. It is actually one of the software platforms that I use on a regular basis for work and business. When I need to route a certain online program or live stream to multiple channels, this is what I would use. I need to remember where is left and where is right. Yeah. So this is what I would use. It is actually a very powerful platform. It allows you to be able to route one particular stream. So normally you have a master stream. It could be from your computer. If you have something like OBS, it gives you what is known as a stream key, and then the stream key can then take that stream and go into a various setup. So it goes into multiple locations. So they do have a very similar live streaming studio, and it's literally called Studio. So it's called the Live Studio, which allows me to do something like this now. So things like graphics, things like overlays, things like backgrounds. I can turn off my. I am also able to invite guests, up to 10, I believe, for this platform. Melon gives me 6. This one gives me 10, but I've not tested all the guests on either of this platform yet. But I will test them out over time so that you can have a sense of how it's like, right? And as well as you can do things like captions, right? So, for example, easily I can show things like, "Hey, if you are not friends yet, don't be a stranger," right? So follow me on Facebook. This is my link. So I'm currently live streaming through Restream into Facebook as well as YouTube as well as one of my Facebook pages. So if you do want to, hit me up as a friend, this is where you can do it. Okay. So don't be a stranger. Do that. And at the same time, I believe I can also pull up chats that people, let's say I have people comment on the chat, and I can actually pull them up. So if you do want to drop in a comment now, feel free to do it. And I'm happy to do that. Happy to just try this feature out. I was going over, so what makes me happy or what makes you happy? What makes you happy? So today I was just going over some of the previous episodes that I've done, and I was just looking at the viewership and the data and the comments and so on. It's fairly interesting that the episodes that are more tech-based seems to get more viewership, which is probably why, it explains why there are plenty of tech-based, or there are plenty of such channels on YouTube, and all that places, right? Because people tend to like to look at gear and look at techie stuff and reviews and stuff like that, right? I know I'm happy to do that. No problem. I'm happy. In fact, you can, if you tell, you can tell by now, I am totally geeking out whenever I do something like this, right? I'm totally geeking out whenever I have the chance to try and experiment and test out new platforms and new stuff and new gear and so on. I am a 100% geek. In fact, probably a 200% geek. Those of you who are my friends always tend to laugh at me about that, which is fine. So if you do like me to do more of these things, I'm happy to do that. In fact, one of my objectives now is that over the next few days, in the course of this 100-day life challenge, perhaps if I can truly bring value to you, would be to be able to help you to kind of figure out and decide on, if you do want to embark on this similar journey in the future, or maybe very near future, doing live streams for yourself and bringing content to you as well. Then I can give you like a taste or a preview of some of the pros and cons of various platforms, the pricing. Some of them obviously cost a bit more than others. The requirements, some of them are very simple. You just literally turn it on and go. Some have a little bit more setup to do. So hopefully, over the course of this, my own personal journey on live streaming and so on, I can also help you to make a easy, simple decision. So kind of like a quick start guide for you, right? I think that will be valuable for anyone who wants to join us in the future on this journey of live streaming. Now, of course, if you don't want to, that's also up to you, right? Totally fine. So I guess one partial regret yesterday was, while it was kind of like a troubleshooting trial run tech over troubleshooting episode. I was just helping the developers of this other platform to kind of see what's going on with the streaming and helping them to resolve the mismatch issue. But I think one of the regrets was that at the end of yesterday's episode, there was almost a minute of audio loss, and I distinctly remember that I said some very good things in that 1 minute. And I can't repeat that anymore. So I think that's probably is kind of a partial regret. But I'm happy. I'm okay with that. It will come back, and what I say will come back to me, and I'll say it again, right? I am not the type of presenter that likes to script everything down to the very sentence and words. There are people like that. There are people who are very scripted, which is fine, they literally will write out every single word they do. In fact, some people, they have something called a teleprompter. And these days, it's not just the TV stations that can have teleprompters. They are actually simple software-based, in fact, using the phone or your iPad. And you can buy a simple device that can connect to your camera and then become a teleprompter for you to literally it will scroll in a certain speed for you to read exactly as you look at camera, and then you read out as the lines. So that kind of thing exists as well, which is amazing, right? But I am typically not like that. And sometimes it is more spur of the moment, whatever comes to mind, inspiration, and that is what I kind of deliver, right? But I do have notes for myself. So I have pointers, I have keynotes, I have keynotes, and I have certain bullet points that I know I want to talk about, right? So the partial regret was yesterday, that 1 minute of something that was quite personal, I guess, that came to mind and I shared, and then I think it's lost. And that is one of the partial regrets. But no harm, it will come back. I have no doubts about that. So today I am trying out another platform. I'm going back to trying out Restream. There was a bit of a video quality issue with Restream, and so the developers came back to me and gave me a solution. So I'm testing it out. So you should see a better quality video of me on whatever platform you're watching now, whether it's Facebook or YouTube. And also, there shouldn't be an audio sync issue, hopefully. Hopefully. And I certainly hope at the end of this live stream, there isn't an audio drop as well. So, in essence, all these things that I'm doing, it is actually things that gives me joy, right? Tinkering, troubleshooting, testing out platforms, learning new things, trying new things, and so on, right? And these are things that literally will give me joy. And being able to share what I know or share what I've learned with other people, and having them then give me feedback and say, hey, I also learned something, or they were inspired and they learned something, and then they're now trying this in their own lives, are really things that gives me a lot of joy and satisfaction. So comment below and let me know what are the things that gives you joy. But the reason why I was motivated or inspired to put this down as a title for today was because today we also did something very interesting. I went with a friend. She's doing a what is known as a CSR, or they call it community social responsibility. I think I may have not got it right. So community social responsibility. She'll correct me the next time. But basically, it's kind of like a outreach program for her company and her business. And we went to this family today, and this is actually a family that is here in Malaysia on a refugee status. They were previously working, but obviously lost their job now, and so my friend's business is helping them to get back on their feet, right? So while we were there, we met up with the family, the husband and the wife, and the 3 lovely children, and kind of like helping them with whatever they needed with, and helping them to get back on their feet. The 3 little girls are studying in school, and because I have 2 daughters myself, I can really feel the I guess the heartache they must feel, because these parents, they also want to provide for their kids. So we are just trying to help them to get started now. So this whole thing was like, I guess, one of the most meaningful things that happened to me today, right? That happened to me today. And the little 9-year-old, the eldest daughter, came up to us, introduced herself in English. They're not from an English-speaking country, but she has been going to school and she spoke beautifully in English. Introduced herself, gave us her name, and told us, how old she is and so on. So, and so polite, and because we bought cupcakes for them, and she was happily eating them, and she was so polite about it. But you can sense that kind of joy from them. Nothing too costly, nothing too expensive. It was just, for them, the food that we bought for that day today, just some cupcakes from a nice cake shop. But yeah, you can see the sense of happiness and joy in their eyes, right? And that was very rewarding for us on our part. So I think my friend will probably put out more information about her CSR projects. If you do happen to see her live stream or her videos on my page, or on my flow, maybe I'll share one of those things over. And you do want to help, whatever small amount or big amount, it's up to you. If you do want to help us in this project that we do for some of the refugee families here in Malaysia, we would be happy to pass it on your behalf, right? But yeah, so it really got me thinking, what are the things that gives us joy? What are the things that make us happy, and so on, right? And yeah, like the other day on the live stream, I kind of posted a simple quote by John Lennon. He said that his mom has always taught him that the goal, to grow up happy, to be happy, taught him to be happy. And when he went to school and the assignment was, what do you want to be when you grow up? His answer was to be happy, right? And the teacher said, you kind of don't quite understand the assignment. And his reply to the teachers were, I think you kind of don't quite understand life, right? So no matter what you're doing, no matter what have you chosen as your goal in life or your main activity in life, I guess one of the end results of all this should be, you should be happy, right? So I'm always happy to do things that brings me joy. And obviously, if that also helps to bring joy to people around me, then it's a bonus. It's an added bonus. And I remember yesterday I was chatting with my daughter, and I was telling her about some of our studying habits. She is way more studious than I am. I was never such a studious student, which thankfully she didn't inherit from me. But and she's such a studious student. So we were just chatting about it. But I think my last comment to her was, "You do you." She doesn't have to do. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, you do you. You do yourself. You do what is you. What feels right to you. What feels good to you. I think we are coming to. They call this the age of enlightenment, which is fairly interesting because we have progressed in so many ways in technology and science and so on. But as a human race, maybe we have not um, really come to a point where we understand ourselves, right? So there are some people that's calling this period of time now an age of enlightenment, which is actually fairly interesting, which means we're starting to look more at inside of ourselves, learning about what makes us tick, what makes us tick, and what makes us what goes on in our mind, our mental space, our inner space, our spiritual space, and so on, right? So that actually is probably a very interesting thing. So I am also on a personal journey to discover more of myself, my own beliefs and my own attitudes towards things, and I'm also growing as a person, hopefully. And so um, through books, through audibles, through causes, through interactions with people, and so on. And I guess one of the things that I have really come to understand is that we have our own agency to choose, all of us. I think one of the biggest gifts that we have been given as a human person is we have the agency to choose. So if you have the agency to choose, then choose to do things that can bring you joy. Choose to do things that can bring you joy and happiness, right? I think one of the best definitions of happiness that I heard, or a goal in life, is in the pursuit of personal happiness, uh, with not as long as it's not at the expense of causing other people hurt, causing your loved ones grief, without harming yourself. And I think I need to find that quote again. I'll find that quote. But basically, in the pursuit of maximum amount of happiness for yourself without causing harm to yourself or others or grief to your family, I think that would be a very simple goal, definition of the pursuit of happiness. So uh, it was a good day. And I said, sometimes some of these live streams, it becomes kind of like a video diary for myself, so that I can look back over the years and I can kind of remember what I did or said on this time and day. So I guess the most fruitful, uh, eventful, and meaningful thing today was this CSR project that we went on today, and helping this family, and hopefully they'll be back on their feet as quickly as possible. And again, those of you, if you are keen to kind of take part with us and help people like this, please reach out to me. Let me know. We can point you to the right organizations. Now, it is not my project. Just to be clear, it's not my project. I just went along and just help in whatever way I can. But I think it's a very good initiative that my friend did. So she'll probably have more details. So if you're keen to kind of help us to take part with us and help people, let us know. We'll be happy to point you to the right people. So once again, thank you, day number 16, for another live stream in the back. And this is day 16 of a 100-day challenge. It has been most fun, most rewarding, and most interesting. And I know from the viewership that tech episode seems to be more popular. Episodes like today might not be as popular, but it's fine. I kind of think that it's a journey for myself. I think on Friday I should be having a guest, so somebody who has a expertise in corporate leadership. One of my friends who's agreed to come on, so I will have a guest on Friday, and Sunday I might have people who are coming on together and doing a roundtable as well. So you see, this live stream is taking on a life of its own in a way, hopefully. And hopefully those of you who are watching us, whether live or in a replay, that there will be value provided to you. And if you're listening and watching now, and you're my friend, and we are friends, right? And you are already doing a live stream on your own, and you want to collaborate, please let me know. I'll be happy to. I'll be really honored to have you on my live stream, and you can share your expertise with the audience, right? In fact, I asked one of my brothers, because he is also a financial expert, whether he's able to come on, and he's going to let me know as well. So, good night, everyone. Thank you. I'm going to take you out with a quick video outro.